Hey everybody. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit of a different thing here tonight. We're going to see how this goes. Kind of just upset cuz it's Martin Luther King Day today. And Martin Luther King was all about equality, right? I think that a lot of people forget what equality really means. And I've been reading stuff on Twitter today that's people that I like, that I follow, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to make a statement. I've tried to avoid politics as much as possible. So first, before we get into all that, hey Aaron, hey Depleted Uranium Cowboy and Webeck and Paul. Although I don't like to dig into politics because of how contentious and divided everything is. But I think the reality is we have to say something. And I think that we are going to make a post that's going to be controversial. It's going to upset a lot of people. But maybe not. Maybe people will just ignore it. I don't know. So let's get started. Hey, Sandy. Hey, PJ. Okay. So what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I saw Alpha Warriors post today, a couple hours ago. It's got a lot of views, surprisingly. I'm just going to read it. He said, today, exactly 3 years ago, my family was woken by an explosion, the alarm going off in the early morning hours. We would learn that the FBI SWAT team with drones and flashbangs were raiding our home in Southern California. No one in my home has ever been arrested or had any problems with the law. As a matter of fact, I am a dedicated combat veteran in the Marine Corps and 14 years of law enforcement with multiple awards, including a Medal of Valor. I survived 4 officer-involved shootings and in 2018 saved a toddler who was the victim of drowning with CPR. The crime the FBI was investigating, Twitter post, they say were triggered by January 6th, making me a domestic terrorist. You guys can imagine how the rest of this goes. So first thing, this just upsets me because Alpha Warrior is somebody who had us on the show. I remember I talked to him for like 30, 40 minutes afterwards as well. Really nice guy. Lives in Southern California, near where I lived as well. And the reality of the situation is that January 6th stuff that happened was part of what started to awaken me from what our government has become. Especially stories like this where people's Twitter posts were getting them raided by the FBI. That's unacceptable to me. It should be unacceptable to anyone in this country. We should have free speech, and what free speech should protect us against is being attacked by our own government. 100%. If we don't have that, then we have nothing in this world. That is the basis and foundation for everything. Can you imagine if I was getting raided from the FBI for talking about MH370? And I know what'll happen. I know what people will say. People are going to say, well, it was an insurrection, right? They were trying to take over the country. That does not justify this. Not at all. Right? Nobody was actually charged with insurrection during that. This is the part that started to wake me up to how powerful propaganda in the media is. And I say this as somebody who I've been open about, maybe not that open, but before 2020, every single election, I voted for nothing but Democrats. Before 2020, nothing but Democrats. Now you guys know my history of politics and who I voted for. I've said many times that I was a CNN brain person who was out there that was just sucking up whatever I would see on TV, right? And I've slowly awakened to the fact that everything out there, especially on television, is a lie. A lot of it's a lie. And whether or not you believe wholeheartedly with people's politics, people have the right to believe what they want to believe in, right? And people have a right to protest. People went to prison for what happened on January 6th. Some people that weren't even there. And that's not right to me. And what's upset to me a lot is that people's lives have been ruined by this. People that weren't even there. And I have my own family members and people that I still run into on a daily basis, people that I like a lot, that vilify people that I know are not evil people. People like Jake Chansley and people like the Alpha Warrior. These aren't evil people. They don't deserve to be vilified by the media and have this perception of them that is, just evil out there, right? And people are going to get upset that I'm going to compare this to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, I think, would have said the same thing. Martin Luther King would have said, equality is treating everybody equally. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter what your political backgrounds are. Martin Luther King would have wanted equality for everybody. I think he would hate the world that we live in right now the same way. They would have branded him as a right-wing, whatever. They would have probably said he's like an Uncle Tom or something like that in today's day and age. That's how far we've moved from the 60s to where we are at today. It's alarming to me. So I just want people to remember that this quote right here is one that directly relates to what we're dealing with right now. We're not going to dig too much into this, but today is going to be an exception because it is Martin Luther King Day. So we're going to look at some quotes from Martin Luther King, and I think I'm going to make a post because the reality is Alpha Warrior deserves our support. Alpha Warrior gave us a platform and did one of the best interviews that we've ever had related to MH370. And if we stay silent, are we any better? Look at what he says in this quote. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Judge not by the color of your skin, by the content of your character. I think those are the quotes that we want, right? Look, he has stood for acceptance, equality, and nonviolent protest. Now, did the people on January 6th commit a riot? Absolutely. And they should face the punishment for that. Now, is the punishment for a riot going to prison for 17 years? Being labeled as an insurrectionist for the rest of your life? We've been in spaces with Jake Chansley. Jake Chansley is not a violent guy. I don't believe he hurt anybody. And he went to prison for multiple years over it. It's not acceptable to me. So the reality is, I think we need to make a post about it. Is it going to be accepted by a lot of people? Is it going to get us attacked by people? Is it going to get us potentially labeled as by people? Maybe. What I want to say is that I respect everybody and respect everybody's beliefs that are out there. Even the people who disagree with me, I don't care. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I think that people should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies. I think that people should be free to have whatever sexual orientation they want. I think that people of different races should be treated equally as well. Where my ethos is your rights end where mine begin. That's really where it is. So we're not going to do a long stream tonight because I'm pretty tired. And I'm sorry if this is going to offend anyone from the political spectrum. I imagine that it will. So tomorrow we'll be back with science stuff and digging more into the case. The reality is we've posted a lot of stuff today. So if you are interested in the MH370 case, let's do a quick rundown before we get into the other stuff. And I'm supporting Skyfire News here as well because Chupacabra and Red Panda Koala have put a lot of effort into this. And they're working with Keemstar, some people that I like hanging out with. So that's the reason why I'm reposting some of their content in case people are curious. We posted the satellite videos where I did a lot of editing on, well, not a lot, but so a little bit of editing, and I put it in there so you can see, You can see the orb shoot up, the second orb, pretty clearly. It's not as clear as I thought in here, but you can see this orb shoot across the water and come up here in this video. In this video here, you can see the very clear this zap animation that's going on here. Or, I guess it's not an animation, but this event that happens here very clearly. So if you want that, and we've also got here this Sibbers video that I posted earlier today. Now, the Sibbers here, keep in mind, guys, Sibbers started with NROL 22. Look at here. NROL 22, it's right there. This is the command satellite. I mean, I'm trying to put it together for us here, but if this is a fake video, you're not going to have coordinates accurate to 6 decimal places, guys. It's just, no one's going through that effort. Not happening, right? So I think I laid everything out there for us today. And everything relates back to Lockheed Martin. It's all Lockheed Martin over and over again. So if you want to dig into the case, we've got plenty of content related to the case today, as well as the whole preaching thing here from Jon Stewart yesterday on the Redacted podcast. So just for today, just for this one night, just for the next hour, we are going to do a very brief political stream in general in support of our buddy Alpha Warrior and in support of our buddy Jake Chansley. And it's probably going to get us hated by a lot of people. But you know what? I just don't care. And we're going to tie it to Martin Luther King too, which is just going to make people even more triggered probably. So reality is I don't care what people think of me, so we're doing it. Let's go ahead and take this. Add that there. It's going to get spicy, folks. Main investigator of the global glitter conspiracy. Why don't I support Julian Assange? Who says I don't? Yeah. Yeah, if people hate it or whatever, well, too bad. It's just one day. Let's see what other good quotes we can find real quick. Here we go. Let's just reflect on the life of Martin Luther King as well, right? The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That's the goal of true education. I mean, this guy was incredible, man. Just listen to what he says, folks. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort or inconvenience, but where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. If you think of where we're at politically here, I mean, we need to go back to the words of Martin Luther King. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. This is the interrelated structure of reality. History will have to record the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of the bad people, but the appalling silence of the good people. Life's most persistent and urgent question: what are you doing for others? I'll tell you what we're going to do for others. We're going to help out the people that helped us. That's what we're going to do. Never succumb to the temptation of bitterness. This is one that I need to work on. I think we all can work on a lot of these. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. I think we're going to start with that. Actually, we can just copy paste it, right? And of course, the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. The past is prophetic in that it asserts loudly that wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows. Basically saying that war is a waste of time. Martin Luther King says literally everything that we talk about on this stream, guys. Everything we talk about. Helping people, treating people equally, justice, wars being useless. I think that Martin Luther King has been co-opted into something that it's not anymore, right? Where it's supposed to mean that we're supposed to treat people differently than one another. We're supposed to treat everybody differently. The reality is we're not. It's the opposite of that. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon. Indeed, it is a weapon unique in history, which cuts without wounding and enables the man who wields it. Another really good quote, right, is that, and if you think about what Martin Luther King did, right, especially back in the 60s, when there's quite a bit more racism than there is today, where he would have to stand up against people that just hated him, right? Now think about that related to the case. We have people that hate us too, right? And we have to look at them in a non-violent way. We have to look at them with eyes of joy. The hottest place in hell is reserved for those who remain neutral in times of great moral conflict. Right? There's another one as well. It's like, we are in a time of great moral conflict right now. We can't just be silent. Hey, PJ Mike, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I hope you guys appreciate that we're doing something a little bit different tonight, where it's only going to be a short stream. Just make you one post, and then we're going to go offline, because I just finished a podcast as well, so I'm pretty tired right now. Okay. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. Now, this is another good one as well, right? Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. Especially when we think about the topic that we're posting on here right now, which is probably one of the most controversial topics in politics, January 6th. People have had their YouTube channels canceled for it, for just talking with people about it. People have had their YouTube channels strike down just for talking with people like Jake Chansley. Because it's a shallow understanding from people of goodwill. More frustrating than absolute misunderstanding of people of ill will. I think we'll go with that. See what else. What other good quotes did Martin Luther King have? Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a better person of yourself, a greater nation for your country, and a finer world to live in. Absolutely. A lot of people did go over to Rumble. Yeah. Have a good night, Paul. If you guys want, we will dig into the science tomorrow. We've made enough MH370 posts today, so we're going to chill a little bit. And tomorrow I will be working, so I probably will not be posting during the day. Just a heads up. Yeah, it's Martin Luther King Day today, so I think it makes sense that we do a little bit of politics and just remember what's important in the world. Because Martin Luther King was a nonviolent person. Believed in nonviolence, didn't believe in war, believed in equal rights for everybody. I absolutely support everything Martin Luther King stands for. And his words of wisdom are incredible. So let's go ahead and what are we going to say? What are we going to say? What are we going to say, folks? Gotta figure out how to do this right. Okay. Yeah, you can see why he got assassinated, man. I mean, look at why he got assassinated. Yeah, this one's a good one, too. I don't know if we're going to use this one, but I'm going to post it in here for now. These are probably the best ones for us to use, right? Related to what we talk about. Let's see. Yeah, they put him in jail too, man. It's crazy, man. 60s, man. What a time. The 60s are also when JFK was killed too, right? Wild, man. They killed Martin Luther King and they killed JFK. Yeah, he was an actual grassroots. So yeah, Malcolm X too. All the grassroots movements get snuffed out, right? Yeah. What's the point? If you don't understand what we're doing, then just read the quotes. The quotes tell why we have to do this. And the point is, I'm going to support people, real people that have helped us. That's the point. We're going to support Alpha Warrior, and we are going to support Jake Chansley. We'll skip the ads here. We don't need ads. Yeah, they killed a lot. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of what we're going to say here. There was another post I made that was really similar to this as well. Well, this is going to be brutal. We're going to get a lot of flack for this, folks. Okay. Yeah, do you know we have this is an Andrew Tate quote. United States is the country with the most people in prison out of anywhere in the world. Wild. We have the most people in prison. Something's got to change. Something's got to change out there. How much time did Jake serve in prison? Do we know? I think he was sentenced to 4 years. Let me just double check. One of the longest sentences. 41 months in prison for obstruction of an official proceeding. Jesus, man. Hey, guys. So, quick disclaimer. I know that this post is going to upset people, and maybe even the stream is going to upset people, because the reality is we are a community that has many political backgrounds, and as well as many backgrounds in general. And politics is one of those things that people generally try to avoid because it stirs up controversy. But the reality is, I read a post by Alpha Warrior today where he had been raided for posts on social media related to January 6th riots or insurrection, whatever you want to call it, man. I don't care. And I know Alpha Warrior, and I've judged him by the content of his character. And he's not the type of person that is going to overthrow the government, right? He just wants free speech. He just wants to make the world a better place. Okay. Yeah, I question whether or not I should do this post pretty heavily, but as Martin Luther King says, the day our lives begin to end the day that we are silent about things that matter. And judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin, not their background. I don't think anybody got charged with any of these, right? Was anyone charged with domestic terrorism? I think the closest was seditious conspiracy, right? Yeah, I don't think anybody did. Let's see. I think the Proud Boy leader was the one. 18 years in prison. 18 years. What did they get? 18 years in prison, man. Just this, I don't know, guys. It doesn't seem like equal justice to me. I think they got seditious conspiracy is what they got. So we're doing a very controversial thing here. And it's important that we protect the freedom of speech. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, some of the people were not even at the Capitol. What was it? Parading? I think a lot of them got charged with parading. Let's see. Let's move this up a little bit. Uh, Trying to think of what we say here. Hey, thanks a lot, Caleb. Appreciate you, buddy. Looking at mineral balancing. Oh, crypto is streaming a panel show. Yeah, we'll probably switch over to that once I make this post. I'm gonna go to sleep early tonight. I've been falling asleep in the middle of the day. We're doing a quick political rundown here in honor of Martin Luther King Day, which I think a lot of people will be upset at because people will equate Martin Luther King with the left in politics. But I think the reality is, if Martin Luther King existed today, I think he would not recognize the supposed liberal party in the United States right now, because it seems like it's anything but. And hopefully, maybe we'll reach a couple people with this. But even if not, then at least we'll have supported people that we know are good people. So we're going to see what happens here. And I think that we close this out by leading this back into disclosure, right? Sequester, the right word? Yeah. We'll do a quick rundown after I finish this post. We're close. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should use that quote instead. Two quotes might be too much. Okay. I think this is good. Yeah, it's not going to waste. We'll take a look at that in just a second, sir. Let's do like this. Okay, I think this is probably good. Gonna be controversial. We don't even need that. Okay. Boom. Going to get spicy. Okay. Okay. So there we go. We did the politics. Okay, relax, man. What is nutritional analytics? What are we talking about here, man? You want me to go on Instagram? Is that what you're getting me at to go to here, or what, man? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You gotta speak in less coded words. Just tell me exactly what you need me to Google. I'm not gonna check out Instagram. So if you've got something you want me to look at, you need to be a little bit more clear. I do appreciate the donations, but I hope we're not trying to market stuff here. Sorry, what am I missing in the chat? Mineral balancing? Oh, I spelled that wrong. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. Okay. So here you go. Yeah, I mean, I need to be clear here. We're not giving medical advice to anybody. So I work in healthcare, guys. I got to be 100% clear. I can't be giving medical advice to anybody, and I'm not giving medical advice to anybody. I'm definitely not selling anybody, telling anybody what to put in their bodies. A donation, Caleb here, it wants people to be aware of the benefits of vitamins and minerals, and that's probably where I'm going to have to cut this off. So, not to be rude, Caleb, but please don't do any more donations asking me to do anything related to medical stuff. I can't do it. So, but anyway, obviously potassium, sodium, this is not very controversial. Magnesium, calcium, these are electrolytes, are very good for you. In fact, the water that I usually drink, I pretty much only drink water that has electrolytes infused into them. If anything else more esoteric on that, I can't dig into. I literally cannot, so I'm sorry. It's literally, I literally cannot do it. It's not a matter of what my opinions are. Can't do it, unfortunately, because of the healthcare, the field I'm in. Need to be clear as well is that giving medical advice to people, that is, you need to be a doctor to give people medical advice. And if you don't, it can actually be a crime in this country. So just be clear on that. Okay, so we did that. Hopefully, it is what it is, you know. We'll see. We're not going to do a lot more any Amway to plug. I don't know what that is. I got to be careful, guys. I'm already pushing the limits with this, with just this post. But I think it was important. What is Amway? Okay, guys, what do you want to chat about before we shut down for tonight? You want to go over the Dan stuff? Oh, really? Dan was Do Anything Now? That was the workaround? Yeah, so I agree with Vant Music. Let's go take a look at YouTube. The problem with the videos is they make too much sense, man. I hate this emoji right here. This weird, like, heat emoji, or what is it, hot emoji? I can't stand this one. I cannot stand this emoji. I don't know when this emoji got created, but I hate it. I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. Drunk Turkey Show? Solar cycle update? Got some weird stuff out there. Maybe we'll check out crypto. No, I'm not wrecking Caleb at all. It's just you have to realize, like, you cannot dispense medical advice, guys, and I am certainly not going to dispense medical advice. So, just to be clear with people, please do not send me stuff to promote anything medical related. I can't do anything to it. So if you do send me donations related to it, it's unfortunately going to go to waste. Should we watch the video one more time? Yeah, the best lives do have elements of truth, which is why the official story into MH370 makes no sense, right? They definitely included elements of truth in the narratives that are out there related to waste what resource. William, dude, you gotta chill out, man. You really gotta chill out. Like, don't stop trying to tell me what I should do and what's a waste of time, right? What do you mean you want to waste my time? Come on, man. Please, man. I'm an adult. I can do what I want when I want. Nothing's gonna. This case isn't gonna go away because we spent 5 or 10 minutes on a video, right? Like, relax, man. Dial it back. Like, I think that I'm more. When people tell me comments like that, that's sketchier than the video. I've got people tell me, don't look at this, don't look at this. That's the last thing that you should do. It goes to the same point of, like, people don't need to tell you not to look at something. People don't need to tell you something's fake, right? You don't need to warn me, man. No one's asking for your opinion on it, right? Like, just dial it back, man. If you don't enjoy it, you can go watch something else. Right? I don't need a million people telling me what I should do, right? So early on, I want to be clear that I had a policy where I would block people just for coming into my DMs and telling me what I should look at, what's real and what's not. The only reason why we're as far as we are right now is because I don't listen to those people, right? So I just need to be clear about that. And again, I know this is upsetting to people because everybody feels like their voice needs to be heard. And absolutely, I want to hear it. You've got to realize that you can't go about it in a way where you're trying to dictate what I should do. Just do it in a way where, hey, here's something that's interesting, right? And then just enjoy the ride. This is not going to be a type of situation where we're going to get answers tomorrow. Like, that's just the reality of this. No matter how you look at it, the answers aren't coming tomorrow. If interesting stuff comes up, we're going to look at it. That's what we're going to do, man. And I want to look at this as well, because here's the thing, man. They're not copyright striking me. Yeah, the Jeremy Corbell stuff, man, here's the thing I want to say about this. I'm not trying to start a war with anybody out there. There's clearly lines. Like, we were in the space with Jeremy Reese yesterday, and and Jeremy doesn't like the other Jeremy. Jeremy Reese doesn't like Jeremy Corbell. He thinks that Jeremy Corbell is a grifter or whatever. But here's the reality, man. A lot of people say that I'm a grifter too. So I'm not going to listen to what people's preconceived notions are. I think that type of stuff is not productive, right? And so that's what we have to avoid. We have to avoid this conflict. And we have to be able to talk to one another, right? This guy murdered the passengers? What? What are we talking about? It's from San Mateo? Okay, so let's watch this one. Whoa. Let's turn it down a little bit. I want to watch this one more time. It's only 5 minutes.
Welcome back, folks. My name is Dan, and tonight we are going to hear the first part of an amazing story sent to us by an anonymous user claiming to have unique proof of a cover-up and later a FOIA request that confirmed it all. It's a short story. We know you like it fast, so let's go. Oh, and tonight our graphics guy, Emil, will do the reading since he want to become famous fucking prick.
To all of those who ridiculed, scorned, and laughed, relegating me to the nut house and even firing me. For how else would I have been so driven to pursue, solve, find, and derive the truth? I owe them.
On Tuesday, May 24th, 1960, after traveling for 2 full days, a Pacific-wide tsunami hit Southern California after a series of massive earthquakes off the coast of Chile. Although damage in California was light, the waves caused 2 deaths on the U.S. West Coast, 139 deaths in Japan, 61 in Hawaii, and at least 21 in the Philippines. As many as 2,000 people died.
Since I've already played the whole thing, I'm going to pause it at parts. So, okay, so here's something right away. Like, I'm interested in this. You know why I'm interested in this? Because he's talking about things that are like conspiracies, but they're not really being talked about a lot. Do you guys realize that just like last week or 2 weeks ago, there was tsunamis that were crashing over the West Coast, and people were wondering like, why are these huge waves crashing over on California and what have you? And people were even speculating, oh well, they're doing something in the ocean, right? Like, 'cause why would you have these huge waves all of a sudden coming out of nowhere? And it's not really explained. And so now this guy's making a video about the earthquakes and stuff like that, which are what creates the tsunamis. So real quick, what's my opinion on the chandelier UAP? I haven't even really looked at it too much, honestly. The problem with a lot of those videos is they don't lead anywhere. There's nothing for us to do. Those videos are just put out for the sole purpose of slowly awakening people that there's something going on, right? But we're already way past that. We're already sure that they've got floating orbs that we've already reverse engineered. So, like, if you think about it from a timeline perspective, like, the people that are looking at jellyfish UFOs and whatever over here, we're way over here already, right? We're already well past that. So it doesn't really do anything for me, right? Like, and if the goal is, okay, give me something that's incontrovertible, that it can't be denied, well, then that's not good enough, unfortunately. The debunkers are going to still have a field day with it. Which just to be clear, I'm 100% on the side of disclosure, 100%. I'm not disinformation or misinformation. I'm just on the side of disclosure. But it's not an easy process. We have to realize that the world that we're in with disclosure is one of a slow drip acclimation process, where they're slowly getting people wakened up. The old people are dying off. The people that couldn't believe, younger and younger people are starting to accept the stuff to be real. So, and again, the only way that we're going to be successful at this is if everybody stops fighting in the UFO community and calling each other grifters and what have you, right? That's the stuff that's holding people back. And that's why at the end of the post that I made just now, the political post, that we have to realize we have to stop fighting one another, man. It's not the UFO community against itself. It shouldn't be, at least. It should be all of the UFO community combined against Lockheed Martin and the government who's giving them trillions of dollars over the last 80 years. And not just Lockheed Martin, the other third-party contractor companies that have all the technology. These people are hoarding technology that will change the world. Of that, I am 100% certain. And, that's what we need to be battling. And the scary part is that's what I'm afraid of. Like, if anyone's going to make me disappear, it's going to be those companies. But I just don't care anymore. Whatever, who cares? Even if all I do is make a slight impact on this world and slowly push that needle a little bit further, it'll still have been worth it. I don't want to live in a world where people are suffering for no reason whatsoever and I sat around and said nothing and did nothing. That's not the world I want to live in. And that's what I want for anyone who watches this now or in the future. That's what I want for everybody else to take away as well. Is you individually have the power to make a difference. I'm just a normal dude. Everybody out there has the same exact capability that I have, regardless of your background. And I don't like when people say that, oh, I'm dumb or whatever. No, you're not. No, you're not. You have the exact same capacity and capability that I do. We're all equal. That's what I truly believe. So please don't ever sell yourself short. And always question everything. Question everything that's out there. Even stuff like this, where it's a good chance this is some kind of video, ruse or psyop or whatever this is that we're watching, that somebody's playing games with us, which clearly they're sending us little messages like they're watching, whatever. The more I dig into this, the more it feels like this is just some kind of ruse. But still, let's look into it. Just enjoy the little things, right? Let's enjoy the little things. Okay.
Along the Chile-Peru coast. According to modern calculations, the 1960 Chilean quake had a magnitude of 9.5, making it the largest earthquake ever recorded. This sparked a fiery discussion in the media in the following week. And just 13 days after the event, another earthquake took place, this time much closer. On the 6th of June, a magnitude 6 earthquake shook the depths just outside the California coast. There was an earthquake scare in the papers, and the prediction of earthquakes was talked about in Congress. Then, in 1963, a man named Chauncey Thomas claimed that he had solved it, and indeed could predict earthquakes by measuring electromagnetic variations, and the thing is, he had the credentials to prove it. Chauncey Thomas was an American electrical engineer and geologist who, during the late 40s and 50s, worked as a project engineer on Bell Aircraft's Rascal missile guidance system, and later Douglas Aircraft's A-4D Skyhawk program. The program ended in 1956, and no one knows what he did during the last years leading up to 1963. He claimed to have been working on what he called the Earth tumbling theory, which he explored based on what he found solving how to predict earthquakes. There is no proof documented, so we can't say we know this. But a thing we do know is that after he went public with his claims on predicting earthquakes by measuring electromagnetic anomalies in the atmosphere, he was recruited by Dr. Robert M. Wood's secret advanced concepts team at the McDonnell Douglas Corporation, one of the first private defense contractors in the United States. The advanced concepts team was a part of the IRAD Fund, the first black budget program, and their mission was to focus on technology critical to future business. According to some sources, they worked on anti-gravity devices, plasma technology, and other fringe science-related projects for the Navy. There probably is a lot to be dug up about the IRAD Fund. And
there was a pause there. Does this still AI? Like, why the way this person's talking doesn't sound like a robot, right? Like, there's random pauses in here. And what's San Gregorio? What's that? I don't know if this is like all made up or not.
Programs. Most classified documents are released after 25 years, and all top secret documents after 50 years. Due to compartmentalization, there is a good chance that there is no one left to reclassify them. So if anyone has the time, there probably lies still uncovered gold in the CIA archives. This story is not about the secret projects. It's about Chauncey Thomas and his message to the world. A message that was taken from him, got its paper copies destroyed, and the content of his work was banned and classified for 50 years, the longest classification possible, and in 2013. His writings were published as declassified in part in a sanitized copy after a FOIA request. No one knows what's mentioned in the redacted pages. But I think what's left is enough to understand.
You see those stutters? This is not an AI-generated voice. Like, you know how like AI never stutters the way that it's doing, where you see like there's a pause at the end of the word sometimes.
What he found and why they chose to hide it from the public. This is what he wrote, and we weren't allowed to act.
You see that? Like, you heard that right there? This could be a voice changer, but I think someone's actually speaking this.
Access for more than 50 years.
And we cut it short there. Quick and easy listening. Hit that subscribe button for the mind-bending part 2.
That's the first one of all of these that I listened to that doesn't feel like it's AI. Feel like there's too many parts where the words, like they're saying the word and then they kind of like drag the word out, where I don't think AI can do that. Vivek dropped out. Oh boy.
Stay safe, folks, and good night.
I'm not funneling them really much of anything. 500 subscribers is nothing, man. They're not making any money off this. Yeah, this feels like that was a person reading that. So listen to it one more time right here near the end.
To reclassify them. So if anyone has the time, they're probably lies.
Right there, you hear that? They're probably lies, and then it like drags out. This is someone reading something.
Still uncovered gold in the CIA archives. This story is not about the secret projects. It's about Chauncey Thomas and his message to the world. A message that was taken from him, got its paper copies destroyed, and the content of his work was banned and classified for 50 years, the longest classification possible. And in 2013.
It almost like there's a weird pause where it's like they're reading something. Wait, Chauncey Thomas is a real person? Yeah, the Lore Lodge guys hate me with a passion. And honestly, feelings mutual. They're losers. They're complete losers, man.
His writings were published as declassified in part in a sanitized copy after a FOIA request. No one knows what's mentioned in the redacted pages. But I think what's left is enough.
Right there, you see that stutter as well? You hear that stutter? No, that's a weird stutter in there as well. Like, I think what's left, and then you hear this weird pause right here.
What's left is enough to...
Right there, you hear that stutter? That's not an AI voice. I mean, yes, the voice itself could be an AI overlay, but I think...
understand what he found and why they chose to hide it from the public.
I think they've been using a voice changer.
This is what he wrote, and we weren't allowed to access.
And even there, again, this is what they wrote, and then we weren't allowed to access. Like, it's like a human speaking.
More than 50 years.
And we cut it short there. Quick and easy listening. Hit that subscribe button for the mind-bending part 2. Stay safe, folks, and good night.
Yeah, I mean, the Emil thing is a nod to us. So, do you guys have any links to the Chauncey Thomas stuff? So that's what I want. Yikes. If you guys want to look at MH370 stuff, obviously, please keep doing that. If I'm curious about this Chauncey Thomas situation, because I can't find anything on him. Did that go to Stan? Went to the Stan video. That will get us striked 100%. Yeah. The problem with those guys is just the pretentiousness of everything they do. The funny part is they thought I was going to get offended by them not agreeing with me or something like that, but they're the ones who got offended by me. Wait, I want to know real quick. Is that true? Did he really drop out? I mean, the problem is, this is what I'm talking about. You wouldn't find out on the news. Oh, there it is, 13 minutes ago. Endorsed Trump, huh? I don't trust this guy, man. I don't trust this guy at all. I do not trust this guy. I never trusted him to begin with. We're talking politics anyway, so I'm going to go into it. I don't like when people are... feels too highly produced, right? Just compare what you've seen with me with what you see with Vivek, right? Real people don't just speak talking points, right? You'll notice that not everything I say anyone will agree with, right? People won't agree with everything I say. And you get a little bit more attacked when you have those types of situations as well. With Vivek, it's like he's just saying what everyone wants to hear. And those people I don't trust at all. Like, yes, I think he's got a really strong marketing campaign behind him, but feels like a guy who was selected. Could be wrong, but that's just my opinion of him. And if he's not, then it's kind of sad, because then it's like an indictment on where we're at from a political perspective right now, where it's like you can't trust anybody, to be honest, which maybe that's the case. So anyway, okay. Yeah. And I've told my opinions. I think that Trump's probably going to win, but I don't. That's probably not a good sign because I think I've usually been wrong whenever I've had predictions. So, if you are a Trump supporter out there, then you shouldn't take that as a big endorsement because I usually get it wrong, unfortunately. Hey, Dan's show, if you're watching out there, man, you want to tell me, just let me know what's going on with this, man. What is this, man? What is going on here? Is this stuff that we should be looking into, or is this just some type of wild goose chase? This, I think, is probably the voice generator because they can record an audio and they can upload it here. I haven't tested this yet because I just don't care that much, but my guess is they're using something like this. Do you guys have any links or tell me what I can Google? And yeah, I'm not telling you guys what to think about Vivek. I'm just giving you guys my opinion on it, you know? Harp. Yeah, harp sounds familiar. What is harp again? Yeah. Oh, yeah, this Alaska system. I definitely think there's some weird stuff going on with the magnetosphere in general. Very interesting. Yeah, Caleb, good call. It's interesting. Do you guys have any links where we can find out anything about, is it Chan Thomas or Chancey Thomas? Like what? Earthquake detection. I just want to know. Oh, this is him, huh? Huh, this is him. Why do they call him Chansey? Is that like a Pokemon reference? Or actually, they didn't say Chansey; they said Chauncey. So, if they said Chansey, I would definitely think that they've been trolling us. Okay, let's just do a very quick dive on. Okay, this is definitely the guy. Okay, this is the guy. This is our guy. He was a UFOologist. Huh. He published the book Adam and Eve's Story, which interpreted the book of Genesis and geological phenomena to make the science. Okay, well, if Wikipedia says it's pseudoscientific, then I'm definitely interested. Claimed that the Earth had routinely been hit by cataclysmic events every 7,000 years. Oh, he was one of the people that thought the poles were switching. Whoa. Huh. I gotta be honest, guys. I like this account. I don't care. I like this account. If they're toying with us, man, they're sending me some information that I like. I like this kind of stuff. This is wild. Hey, Ultra Instinct, how's it going, man? Claimed Jesus Christ was a scholar who lived among tribes in what is now called the Indian state of Nagaland. Okay, sure. I mean, that's pretty far out there. I don't know how you're going to claim that Jesus Christ, who was around 2,000 years ago, if he was, a real person, which I think that a lot of people think that he is. I don't know how you're going to say he got pulled away by aliens. It's kind of a pretty wild claim. Hey, Slam Dunk Mo. Hey, everybody as well who's jumped in. Hey, Mystical. Hey, Professor J, Sandy, Amanda. In 1967, aerospace company McDonnell Douglas assembled a small team of researchers to investigate UFO reports within the goal of discovering an underlying science that powered such vehicles. Thomas was reportedly one of 4 full-time researchers on the team. The team's director, aeronautical engineer Robert M. Wood, wrote some 4 decades later in a newsletter for MUFON that Thomas had tremendously innovative mind and was totally out-of-the-box thinker. Claimed he had ESP and he was in contact with extraterrestrial life. Okay, it's pretty far out there. James Randi criticized Thomas's prediction that Los Angeles would succumb to a future catastrophe. 2,000 and 2,500. Okay. Oh, wow. The CIA declassified documents in 2013. This guy's a real guy. That was real. The other letter to Ashton? This is freaking weird, man. This is weird. Are the Lore Lodge guys behind this account? Maybe they're the ones behind this account. Trolling us. Man, I don't get it. Who's trolling with this? CIA declassified documents containing large excerpts from his book. Why would they have to classify this? What? He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. So whoever's doing this is a frequent watcher of the Joe Rogan podcast. I'll tell you guys the number of I like Joe Rogan. Nothing against him whatsoever. I've only watched probably less than 10 podcasts of Joe Rogan. Probably less. What's ARG? The ARG is bigger than you. Which has frequently been criticized for broadcasting misinformation unchecked. Dude, Wikipedia is the worst, man. Wikipedia is so bad. How did they just add this line in here? It's like, someone edit this out. Come on, man. Which has frequently been criticized for broadcasting misinformation. This is why the advanced technology is kept secret from us. Because you got gatekeepers on Wikipedia who just make random crap up and include their opinions in what's supposed to be just factual content. Okay, well, now I'm super interested in this, folks. Now that it's a real person and this is real and they really declassified this stuff, I'm super interested now. The problem I have with Joe Rogan is I think that he doesn't dig into the science of it at all, right? So I think that even a lot of people that agree with us also just think that stuff can't be real, right? Because that hasn't been shown on scientific papers or whatever. But the reality is that scientific papers are also being suppressed. When you suppress the scientific papers, when you suppress the stuff on TV, you dictate what people believe. Just like in the letter to Ashton at the end. In fact, I kind of want to listen to that one more time. The end of the letter to Ashton is the creepiest part, man. That's the creepiest part because it's just true. It's just true. How does this guy's crappy video keep showing up in the top here? God, and we got Lore Lodge stuff. Look at this. Ashton Forbes had some funny things to say about me. How upset are these guys, man? Why are these guys so upset? Oh, look, there's our thing. Ashton Forbes had some funny things to say about me, guys. I'm living rent-free in some people's heads, man. I'm really living rent-free in people's heads. Blows my mind, dude.
Base in the mall.
Why do people care so much about me, man? I'm just trying to tell people I'm just a normal person, but everybody's like just straight up obsessed.
Technology his friends had discovered.
Where is it?
Geometry remind you of something.
Okay, here we
If
go.
you choose to spend time on this,
God, this
which I
letter's
think
creepy,
you
man.
should, instead of mall aliens, keep in mind that your case is one product of the technology. What happens on the other island, you will understand this if you pursue it, is another more rudimentary.
No, I don't watch the like all the React content that people make about me. It's too much that's out there. It's way too much. I shouldn't even have reacted to that one woman's thing in general. I just thought it was in such poor taste. But whatever. It was a moment of weakness.
Product. What if those in combination could lead you on the right path to the actual technology?
Yeah, the Lore Lodge guys are literally just some kids, man. That's the problem with them. They'll grow up one day.
The gray-bearded man is the key, and he probably has no idea that he is. Finally, I want to say this.
This is going to get where it gets wild. So this is the thing where this next part, in my mind, is 100% true. And this is where it just creeps me out. Like, why would they add this crazy paragraph? Like, this is like one of those personal letters that I do.
How do you defeat someone who can turn skyscrapers to dust, completely erase whole neighborhoods in an afternoon, and steal a burning Boeing 777 midair? Someone who, when needed, has the complete control of all media and crafts the perception of events.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me redo that. It's not loud enough.
Someone who, when needed, steal a burning, erase whole skyscrapers to want to say this. How do you defeat someone who can turn skyscrapers to dust, completely erase whole neighborhoods in an afternoon, and steal a burning Boeing 777 midair? Someone who, when needed, has the complete control of all media and crafts the perception of events, and has most of humanity eating from its hands. After almost a full life in their service, I think I know the answer. You talk about them, and you don't stop talking.
That's just absolutely, as Amanda said, absolutely chilling. When I heard that the first time, I was so freaked out. Just literally just puts my like hairs on edge listening to that part. It almost, if it was a little bit more direct, I would consider it a threat. It's just like saying, hey, we have full control of the media. We can do whatever we want. We can take a plane and make everybody believe that crashed into the ocean. I mean, that's wild, man. That is somebody not messing around, right? That's, holy crap, wild. Elon's tweeting about Starlink. I want to look into this Chan Thomas thing. This is bizarre. So there was a real person. They really were declassified in 2013. I want to get. We should FOIA this, I think, or find this. Yeah, I wish we could disprove this channel too, because it's creepy, man. I really want someone to disprove this. I just want, like, if I don't know who is making this. I can't figure it out. The scary part is I think the most likely person that's making this is me, but I'm not making it. It's like I couldn't even make this as the part 2, and I couldn't even come up with this. It's like, who the hell is doing this? Who's doing this? I mean, best case scenario. No, you're right, Eve. He's encouraging me. So they're encouraging us. This is not it's not a threat. It's a message of encouragement, and it worked. Worked really well. But you listen to that last part, and they say that, like, we don't have a chance, right? They're just saying our only chance is to keep talking about it. W event down the rabbit hole band Discord. Hey, thanks, PJ. I don't know what that means, but I'll check a look at Discord after I get off here in a minute. Yeah, it sounds like a secret admirer, right? It doesn't sound like someone who's against us. That's the weirdest part. That's the weirdest part about it. I've listened to this almost 30 times. I haven't really listened to it a lot recently, the last couple of days, but parts of it are just straight up wild. Do I have it up? I even asked Jeremy about it, Jeremy Reese. He was like, I think this is a psyop. I think that the government's sending you messages. That's what freaked me out even more, because I thought Jeremy would at least be like, nah, this is fake or something. He's like, no, the government's sending you messages. I'm like, oh, shit. I don't even know, man. I would have thought Punjabi Batman, but maybe. Could be him. The thing is, Punjabi Batman has the technical skills to pull this off. That was a good point that people brought up, was that, like, I think that Keemstar brought it up, is that this person's claiming to be, like, in their 50s or 60s, right? About 40 to 60 years old. And they're saying, you know, who's of that age has the ability to do this? Well, the answer is somebody who works with flying orbs has the ability to do this for sure. And then there's a meta element to the video as well, where, like, they're using advanced AI to create an AI video or AI voice. So it's like they're using technology that, like, boomers don't know about. Like, if I were to tell my dad, like, hey, you know, my dad's in his 70s. If I'd be like, Dad, go make an AI voice video, he would have no idea. He wouldn't even know this is possible. So it's like, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. All I know is it's really interesting. And as long as they keep feeding us stuff that's, like, on the edge of conspiracy, well, they're talking to the right audience. I think the play here is maybe I should talk to Randall Carlson. Maybe I should reach out to him. Yeah, the thing is too, it's really good AI. Now, is it commercially available AI? Yeah, I think so. Brick Suit. Who's Brick Suit? I'm gonna like this no matter what, because I like Alpha Warrior a lot, man. I just like Alpha Warrior. What were we gonna do? Oh yeah, Randall. What was his thing? I think it's like Randall W. Carlson or something. Yeah, Randall W. Oh, his DMs aren't open. We have to find him in his replies. He doesn't repost that much, though. If anyone has a connection to Randall, I might ask if Martin can get me in touch with him. You know what I like about Randall when I watched him? And people don't believe that I didn't know who he was. Guys, I don't know anybody in UFOlogy. Before this, I didn't know anyone other than like the biggest name people that you see on TV. So, yes, I did not know who Randall Carlson was before this. I'm sorry if that offends people, that I didn't know who this guy was. But, yeah, he would probably be a good person for Hard Truths. Probably be very good. I imagine he is busy. But the thing I like about him when I've heard him talk is that he talks like I talk. Like, he's like, I don't know exactly all the science. This is the information I'm told. These are the smart people I'm hanging out with. Like, that's what I like about him a lot. He's like, I feel a little bit kindred spirit. What do you mean second letter to Ashton Forbes? Scott, I think, do you mean the other video that has like the short intro? Is there another letter to Ashton Forbes somewhere? Tell me what to look up if there is. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't believe all that Freemason stuff, man. That's the truth. I don't really believe all that stuff. I mean, sure, are there secret societies? Maybe, but this guy does not strike me as somebody who's trying to withhold secret information. I think the reality is he's somebody who's trying to disseminate it. I just get a little worried. Are we going to get too into the woo with some of this stuff? Not sure. But what I'll do is I'll reach out to Bob and see if Bob can connect me to Randall. Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy. What hidden message? What are you guys talking about? Ghost Rider requesting a 4-orb buy. Oh, so also, since we're talking about, this is how we'll close out tonight, guys, is I do need more people who you guys think would recommend for Hard Truths podcasts out there. I probably will try to talk with Salvatore Pius again. I've been trying to catch up on the science before I talk to Sal again so that I can be not like have everything go over my head. But I need some more people in general. I would like to talk to Richard Dolan. And the people I want to talk to are people that are either scientists and engineers, or they're people that believe and know that there's advanced technology out there that we can reveal to the public. Those are the types of people that I want to talk to. So people like Randall Carlson, who's out there talking to people, I want to talk to him. People like Richard Dolan, who says that there's advanced technology out there, I want to talk to them. Anyone along any of those spheres, anyone who's in the science and is conducting the science related to it, I also want to talk to. So that's the plan for the future, guys. I'm going to take off. I hope you guys appreciated the conversation tonight. I think that everybody should reflect a little bit internally on Martin Luther King Day about equality, justice, and freedom and what those things mean in general. And tomorrow we'll jump right back in. We're going to dig in. I think tomorrow we're going to go into the science. We've been going pretty hard on the investigation. We've been hitting Lockheed Martin pretty hard as well. So I think we'll probably switch it up a little bit and go into the science tomorrow night. So probably won't be a lot of posts tomorrow during the day. So yeah, if you guys have any contacts to any of those people and can get me in touch, or you find them posts and they can sneak me into the replies, let me know. And let them know to not listen to whatever people say. Oh, Graham Hancock would be actually awesome as well. I wonder, but he's probably too high profile. I gotta sneak in his. Yeah, these guys are pretty high profile, man. But if you find them, make posts and we can sneak into their replies, let me know. However we can get a hold of people. Everybody have a good night tonight. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And we'll be in touch soon, guys. Peace.